This is the brand new Holden Volt. As you can see, we're currently in the NRMA garage. I'm Trent Nikolic and welcome to NRMA Driver's Seat. Now the Holden Volt is a very important vehicle for Holden. Technologically, it's also a very important vehicle for Australian drivers. And in the future, the first thing you do when you get into your car might actually look like this. A couple of the important facts and figures for this vehicle relate to both the warranty and the charging time. Now, on a normal 10 amp power point that you might have at home, from dead flat, it'll take you 6 hours to charge the battery. If you've got a higher output plug like we do at the NRMA garage, that time will drop down to 3.5 or maybe 4 hours. Now, when it comes to warranty, you've got a 3-year, 100,000 kilometre warranty on the vehicle itself. You've got an 8-year, 160,000 kilometre warranty on the batteries and all of the electric drive components. Now, the important thing is that while 8 years is impressive, Holden has actually simulated double that in testing. In a performance sense, the Volt is actually quite impressive. The electric engine delivers 111 kilowatts and 370 newton meters, and it's instantaneous. Unlike a petrol engine that needs to get up to speed, an electric engine delivers that power straight away. So you actually get up to speed, 60, 80 or 100 kilometres an hour really easily, and then it maintains that speed really well. As you can tell from inside the cabin, it's pretty much silent. There's a little bit of road noise from the tyres, but there's no engine noise obviously because there's no petrol engine running at the moment. And if you stick to that 87 kilometre range that Holden claims, you won't ever hear the petrol engine either. The handling's better than you might think too from the Volt, and that's because largely the centre of gravity is actually quite low. The lithium-ion battery bank is through a big spine here in the centre of the car and it's mounted down. So there's 200 kilos of battery, but because it's down and out of the way, it doesn't affect the driving experience. Importantly, the Volt has all the safety gear that you could want. There's a lane departure warning system, there's collision avoidance system, there's 8 airbags, ABS, stability control, and as a result of that, the Volt also gets a 5-star safety rating. So just because you're being environmentally friendly doesn't mean you're missing out on any of the safety gear either. One of the questions we get asked most by our NRMA members is, does the car represent good value for money? And it's a tough one to answer if you're not being objective when you discuss the Volt, because objectively it does offer good value for money. There's a whole lot of technology packed into this vehicle that you simply don't get in other vehicles, and you simply don't get it in some other hybrid vehicles as well. It's not a cheap car at $60,000. Then again, it's an extremely cheap car to run because in theory you never need to use petrol to get to and from work. So if you're just using that 87 kilometre range, you'll only ever be charging it in, and Holden tells us that that'll cost you about $2.30 to $2.40 per 100 kilometres. So that makes the Volt really good value for money. Now the second part of the value for money argument is the sheer cost of the vehicle. And sure, it's not cheap, but you're getting new technology, you're getting relevant technology, and you're getting a car that's great to drive. Plus you can still use this as a family vehicle. So while we think it's a little expensive and we are waiting for the price to come down, we still think the Volt does make sense for the average Australian family car buyer. There's a lot to like about Holden's new Volt, and in fact, there's really only two things that we dislike. We think that the price is probably a little high. We don't like that annoying front spoiler. It gets in the way of everything, it scratches over speed humps. When you come in and out of driveways, it bumps down. But apart from that, there's really not a lot to dislike about this car. We think it's attractively styled, the interior is really well put together, and there's some clever technology in the instruments and the gauges and the control centre. We think that the external styling is really well designed. And to drive, it's actually a really engaging car. Now that might sound simple, but it takes you by surprise when it comes to a hybrid because you don't expect it to be an engaging car to drive. You tend to think it'll be boring or pretty average. This actually steers, handles, and stops really well. So the good news is that if you're looking for an environmentally friendly car that actually makes sense as a family vehicle while also integrating electric engine technology, you need to have a good close look at the new Holden Volt.